Hey, purple, I'm ready for game now, okay? Let's go. Live again. Even know what the hell's going on. Okay, let's move it. Hold on, let me get me off the TV. I don't have my screen, okay? Just because it's 10, man. Like, man, I don't want to go to my YouTube and you guys kitties on me. Don't want that to happen. No, I'm good. I let the news go through. I can make her. Hey, fuck, so we can work for a night. Go for the yeah. Just still my thing and put it on outro, the outro, so. Oh my god! People just banging on the roof today. I'm sorry with my stuff. We have Robux in the background. Let me look at mine. Yeah, there is, I think that one. Look at mine. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Not alone. It's that, I think. This is why you don't leave your door open. Kids, don't leave your door open. Okay. So we got that open, then we got that. Then we get Twitch. See. Then I just go on my account. Take. Pause on Twitch in a second. Look at my channel. Jimmy, hold on. You need to get this live. Jimmy, hold on. You need to get this live. Jimmy, hold on. You need to get this live. Jimmy, hold on. You need to get this live. Hold on, man. Hold on, man. Hold on, man. Where's to take the jet? Man, I just want to take it. Where's to take the jet? Man, I just want to take it. No. Shit. Where's to take the jet? Man, I just want to take it. No. Shit. Where's to take the jet? Man, I just want to take it. No. Good. Okay. I'm saying on my stuff. So I've done this one. Put a video on, but I'm doing this. Okay. I guess just gonna. I'm back and I have food, so let's see food. So, then yeah. Okay, now let's just watch YouTube. Well, just fucking eat. Okay, I'm just gonna. This guy's gonna watch it.
There are 8 brand new episodes of Invincible Season 3. Some were really great, but others were kinda mid. So we're gonna find out which is which by ranking every single episode of Season 3 on this tier list. Starting with Episode 1, You're Not Laughing Now. This is a solid introduction to this brand new season of Invincible. First of all, it shows us what the characters were doing in between seasons. Mark was training with Cecil after he got washed by Anissa in Season 2.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Guardians of the Globe are all back together after Shrinking Ray and Rexplode have fully healed. Also, Duplicate is alive. Yay! Now her and the Immortal could be the most insufferable couple.
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna do this. I'm going to eat. Hold on. This is from. Oh. No, what the.
Of all time. And Oliver is no longer a little purple baby, he's now a little purple boy. And these little character advancements make for some great setup for the rest of the season. Now that Invincible is stronger, he's able to fight stronger enemies and probably still get whooped, because losing is kind of his thing. And now that Oliver is an actual character, it creates a new dynamic in the Grayson household. Debbie is doing her best to raise him, and the scenes between them are really sweet. Episode 1 also does a solid job at introducing new characters and new plot points. Fightmaster and Dropkick are twins who steal the Declaration of Independence, and it seemed a lot easier for them than when Nicolas Cage did it. Duplicate's brother Multipol is also introduced, and he's a lot more psychopathic than his sister.
Oh, we're so sorry to hear about your brother that passed away. He gets 5 big booms. Boom! 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 Boom!
most importantly, this episode is the beginning of the growing conflict between Mark and Cecil. During the huge battle with Doc Seismic, Cecil calls in Darkwing and the Reaniman. Literally, they drop down from the battle bus or something. And seeing these villains from the past couple seasons really sets Mark off. Steven Yeun is great in every episode of this show, but some of his line delivery here is top notch. You can hear in his voice just how truly done he is.
Why the hell is he here? And why the f are those things here?
Mark's fury at Cecil is completely justifiable. Darkwing and D.A. Sinclair are criminals. They're both murderers and have committed horrible atrocities. And they're both specifically villains to Invincible, because he's the one who brought them to jail. Mark thinks that they should serve their punishment and rot in their cells. But on the flip side, Cecil's perspective is also understandable. He wants to keep the world safe. It's his job. His responsibility. And while using these villains is super shady, they actually did help. All of Earth's heroes were about to lose until he stepped in. Mark and Cecil's relationship gets destroyed in future episodes, but episode 1 does a fantastic job at setting it up. The action sequences are enjoyable as well. Doc Seismic getting control of these giant earth bugs and becoming an actually threatening villain is pretty fun. I mean, he still sounds like a Redditor, but still. And it's really enjoyable seeing all these heroes, some of which we've never seen before, in a big action set piece like this. Also, Rexplode is letting it all hang out, which, good for him, man. I bet there's a nice breeze down there. If I had to say one bad thing about this whole Doc Seismic plotline, is that it's not the most memorable thing in the world. Overall, the most impactful things in this episode story-wise is the future stories it sets up, and not the story of the actual episode. Something I want to mention now, instead of mentioning in every other episode ranking, is the animation. Yeah, I can't really defend this animation. There was a decline from season 1 to season 2, and it seems like there was also a decline from season 2 to season 3. The action sequences mostly look fine, but it's the moments where characters just talk or do mundane things where the animation looks stilted and cheap. I would say this is Family Guy quality animation, but that would honestly be an insult to the hard-working animators over at Family Guy. Every Peter Griffin and chicken fight has more sauce than the entirety of Invincible season 3. And I don't want it to seem like I'm hating on these animators, because I'm sure they're doing their best, but it really seems like the show's budget is going to the growing celebrity cast and not the animation. Like, did you really have to cast Shang-Chi as Multi-Paul? You couldn't have gotten a professional voice actor who was probably cheaper? You had to get the MCU star? Anyway, unless there's an animation moment that is especially terrible, I'm not gonna factor it into the ranking, because it's something that affects the entire season. So with that said, episode 1, You're Not Laughing Now, is a solid episode with a kind of forgettable plot, so it's going in A tier. Episode 2, A Deal with the Devil, is an episode all about Cecil Stedman. We get a flashback of his early days at the GDA, and we see how he became the man that he is now. This backstory is paramount for explaining Cecil's perspective. When he was young, he was just like Mark. He wanted to be a hero who helped people, even getting seriously injured and permanently damaging his face to do so. All the skin and hair on his body is synthetic, which makes you wonder why they couldn't save his hairline. Why are they doing this man like that? Forget what the villains are doing. That's the real crime right there. We also learn that Cecil originally had the same opinions on supervillains as Mark. They shouldn't get a second chance, they should just stay in jail. But Cecil changes his opinion after his time in prison, and now he sees criminals as tools, things to use to help save the world. The episode perfectly transitions from Cecil's backstory to his confrontation with Mark, and this is one of the most well put together sequences of the entire show. When the tension rises and Mark starts going to town on these Reanimen, and Cecil busts out the button that causes that sound to go off in Mark's ear, the intensity, the urgency, and the betrayal is on full display. These two have worked together fine before, but now it really seems like Cecil is trying to force him into being another one of his tools. And it's a really cool storytelling moment when the Guardians of the Globe show some agency and go against Cecil. When I saw this for the first time, I freaking cheered. And Mark killing the Reanimen in the same way in place that his father killed the original Guardians of the Globe is the icing on the cake, because it perfectly shows Mark's struggle to control his brutal Viltrumite self. This episode truly pushed Mark to his limits, to the point where he gave Cecil a very genuine, very serious threat. And the aftermath of this episode will have lasting ramifications for the entire series. This whole scenario makes Mark doubt himself. He starts thinking that maybe there are times where it is right to kill. If he had taken out Darkwing or Sinclair, then Cecil wouldn't be able to use them to serve his own means. He begins to lose confidence in his identity as a hero and what he's doing. Also, the Guardians of the Globe break up into two different teams. You have the based, epic, red-pilled, awesome team with Rexplode, Monster Girl, Robot, Shrinking Ray, and Bulletproof, who say to hell with Cecil and leave. And then you have the beta losers with the Immortal, Duplicate, Black Samson, and Shapesmith, who think somehow Mark was in the wrong and decide to stay. Seriously, the Immortal outs himself as one petty motherfucker. He goes on and on about how Mark got what he deserved and faced the actions of his consequences, which is nonsense. We can all see right through him. He just